Today we're upgrading Sky Team. We're traveling to Ireland to see Ronja's family, so our goal is to make this game travel friendly. We're going to travel for more than 10 hours and I don't know if I can survive that long without playing a board game. Sadly, we don't have checked luggage, so we can only pack the essentials. But this craft will be a nice upgrade even if you're just playing at home. But I will be honest with you, I'm a bit of a time optimist, and as usual, time got away from me. I now only have 1.5 days to film and make this craft, so let's see if I manage it before we need to run to the gate. For those of you that don't know, Sky Team is a really fun 2-player cooperative game where you play as the pilot and the co-pilot, trying to land a plane. You roll dice in secret before taking turns to place them on the board to determine the plane's speed, tilt, flaps, landing gear and brakes. There's a lot to coordinate, but you're not allowed to communicate. So you do all this in silence and hope that your co-pilot has dice that helps you achieve this goal. Sky Team takes about 30 minutes and is easy to play, even after a long day at work. I find it very relaxing and rewarding, but Ronja on the other hand find it kinda stressful because of all the people that could die if we crash. Talk about an active imagination. It's just a board game. This game has a lot of loose components, which could get lost if we hit turbulence on the flight. So we're going to try and solve that problem. Let's start with the board. These little tokens mark your progress, and these coffee tokens can be added or removed as the game progresses. So I'm going to try and make them magnetic, so that they are more secure on the board. I'm going to drill a tiny hole in them and glue these 2mm magnets inside, which will attach to this flat piece of metal. These metal plates are actually used for your phone case, but they worked great for this craft because they are self-adhesive on one side. I used my new Dremel tool to cut them into shape and sand down the edges. The starting positions for these tokens are now hidden under the metal plates. But I'll color the edge of the cardboard with these Posca Pens to indicate the starting positions. There are also 10 of these switches that need to be able to slide back and forth. I'm going to glue them to a small piece of plastic, which I will then seal between the two boards, so that they don't fall out but are still able to slide. This upgrade not only makes setup easier, but also keeps all the small tokens in place, reducing the risk of losing them. I'm also going to glue this disc to plastic and seal inside. I had an idea to use a magnet so that it could click into place, which would have been so satisfying. But unfortunately, I did not have the time to finish this. After sealing the two boards together with double-sided tape, it seems to work as intended. The only thing that was disappointing was that the glue affected the disc and made it look foggy, which was a real bummer. Next time I would glue these together using a glue gun instead. But the buttons slide easily and these little tokens don't fall off. So I think that this first part of the upgrade was a success. Now let's move on to the approach track. The approach track shows how many airplanes you need to clear in front of you, and we're going to make these airplanes magnetic as well. So I drilled a hole in the planes and glued a magnet inside. For the track, I thought about printing them out and gluing metal sheets between them. But then I thought to make this transparent sleeve instead, that can be used for all the tracks. This would save me a lot of metal, because I only have to make one of them. So I cut open a document sleeve and attached some metal plates inside. And then attached these magnets to the top, so that we could close it at our desired length. This actually worked really well, so I'm very happy with this result. The dice in this game need to be rolled in secret, so I'm going to use these two containers. I've covered them in fabric on the inside, so that you can't see the result. And also to soften the noise a bit, so that we don't annoy other passengers on the plane. This is a great upgrade for any dice-based game you want to travel with. If visibility is the main goal, just use a container with a clear lid. I drilled a hole and added a keychain to hold the lid in place. Now that our craft is done, it's time to catch our flight.
Vacation!
Let's see if our invention works as intended. I was honestly surprised by how well this worked. I didn't have to worry about dropping anything, and setup was very easy, with most of the tokens already secured on the board. The box was also really useful during the flight, because we could use it to hold the module that we were playing during that scenario. All the other modules and approach tracks that we weren't using could be stored under this cardboard flap, which was also really useful. And as always, if you want to make your own version or adapt this idea for another game, you'll find links to the materials I used in the description. We had a really intense game that we almost lost in the last round, but in the end we managed to land the plane safely and everyone survived. The thing I actually love the most with this upgrade is actually to move these small tokens, now when they're magnetic. It's so satisfying to move them forward and hear the click. It's like flicking a switch. Very immersive and satisfying. And if you want to watch some more board game upgrades that you can make, you can watch this video here, where we upgraded Dune Imperium. And thanks for watching.